Hi everybody, this is the Divine Woo. That's me, this chick right here. Today we're going to do my second October deck review, and this one we're going to do Season of the Witch Samhain Oracle. I love this deck. Lorena Anderson and Juliet Diaz are the authors of this deck, and then the illustrators. I can't pronounce her last name. I mean her first name, so we won't go there. I don't want to brutalize it. This deck comes with a very nice book. It's very thick. Small, but still a nice book. This deck was published in 2020 by Rockpool Publishings. It is still available, and in fact there is a new deck that they just published by the same authors about Yule, but that'll be for later on in the holiday season. There's information about the authors, the illustrators, acknowledgement, introductions about the cards, spreads, and then oracle cards, which is the definition, what you're supposed to get from the cards. So there's information about the authors, the illustrator. Now, what I wanted to get to that I wanted to make sure I covered is this book has a dedication, how to dedicate this deck. So 3-card spread, interview your deck spread. This is the one right here. This spread is so powerful. It talks about, it gives you an opportunity to get to know the deck with the deck. And if you don't believe that decks have their own personality and the way they want to work with you, then it doesn't matter to you. I believe that though. And each card in this spread, they tell you what it's about, and you know what you should be looking for. What personality does this deck have? You know, all the way down to what will our relationship be. I love this. I'm using this for all of my decks from this point forward, from the time I open this deck, because I do love it. It's that important to me. I think it really does speak to how you can best use that deck to get the most out of it. And then they have a graveyard spread, spiritual council spread, reclaim your power spread, round apple spread, protection, transformation, weekly outlook spread, which is tool spread, moon phases spread, shadow spread. You're doing some shadow work, this is a good deck for it. And there's a spread just for it. The healer spread, coming of winter spread. Okay. I think somebody was a Game of Thrones fan. Just saying. And the Athame spread. Okay. And then when you open it up, each card has its own statement. And then there are keywords in the book. The statement that's on the card is redone, and then gives you additional information about the card. This deck actually also has reversals. I haven't needed to use the reversals because the deck speaks loud and clear, loud, clear, and straightforward. But there is a lot in this book, and each card is accurately represented, or well represented in the information that it has. So let's see. Okay, so these aren't in numerical order, in a particular order, so we'll just go through them. All Hallows Eve, the Bat, there we go, Rebirth, Seduction, Journey, Dark Moon, Healer. Now, I do like that about this deck is that you have multicultural deck here. I don't think there are any men in this deck. I think I've only seen female representations here. Candle Magic, the frog, the veil, greet the darkness, apples, wolf, third harvest, grief. This deck has a very heavy pagan feel to it as well. Crystals and herbs, witch, mischief, the underworld, protection, silence, elders. I mean, look at this. I love this card. It's just beautiful. Reflection, once again. Pumpkin, ancestors, broom, elements, coming of winter, spider, banshee, black cats, altar, cauldron, intuition, rooted, haunted, graveyard, ritual, voices, transformation, owl, divination, potions and spells, and nature spirits. I should probably talk about the back of the deck. It is a deck that has reversals, as we talked about in the book. So you have the moon, and then you have the hands with the roots coming out of the hands. I think you would know if you had a reversal, though. It's pretty obvious that you're going to have a reversal because the moon has very distinct markings on one side versus the other. The other thing I love about this deck is the cards are very thick, but when you put them all together, oh my gosh, look at this, y'all. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I mean, this is gorgeous. I love this deck. I think this deck is no nonsense. It's going to give you information. It's not going to play with you. You're definitely going to get some strong, hard answers. I want you to hear how good it sounds shuffling. I love the way it sounds because it's just a nice, heavy cardstock and just, beautiful. It's a beautiful deck, and I definitely recommend it. I know several people who contact me and get readings, and they want this deck in particular because it does not play. It's going to give you straight information without any chaser. It's good for shadow work, but it's also just good for the season. And as we move into the dark side of the calendar, and everything's going to start cooling off, and it's going to get darker sooner, and days are going to be much shorter. This is the kind of deck that's going to give you all that information that you need for how you should handle this time of the year. So, once again, like I said, this also has a very pagan feel. So, there's a triple goddess here. There is, obviously, that's her book of shadows, a feather, lavender, another form of divination here. So I definitely recommend this to anybody who is a practicing Wiccan or a practicing pagan, because you know a lot of the symbology. If you're not, you still can get elements you can pull from this because of the statements on the cards and the book. But a lot of this material is very much, heavily set in the Wiccan tradition, and you're not going to miss anything if you get this deck, because there's just so much of this elements in there. So once again, this is the Season of the Witch Oracle. And once again, I highly recommend it. And hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button. And I will be doing a review of the next deck that they came out with when we get closer to Christmas and Yule. But I do, once again, love this deck. I highly recommend it. I think it's an excellent deck for anybody who uses oracles decks, wants to do any kind of shadow work. It definitely, and it'll tell you how it wants to be used as well. So once again, hope you like this. Once again, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Take care.